1, 2, 3, 4. Four girls in underage world, you're safe in Ace's space.
We're back.
We're back and we've got sexy, steamy questions from the ace faces.
Good day, mates. We're back for Ace's Space episode. What? I don't even keep track.
1,000?
Episode 1000.
No, this will be episode 5.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
It is a cloudy / sunny day in Los Angeles. It's feeling fallish, autumnish. Is it feeling fall and autumnish in Utah, Ken?
Yes. Autumn is in full swing over here. The leaves are changing. It's all crisp and deluxe in the morning,
don't
like
get crisp.
around like 60 degrees.
That's how we like it. Crystal, what are you talking about? You were there last week. You know autumn's in
Yeah, I
full
was
You
swing.
gonna say,
know, I'm
you guys
just
were just
I'm
there.
just giving Ken her chance.
Oh, she's acting. She's acting.
I'm giving Ken her
This is the
chance.
This is the first episode with me remote.
Yeah.
Is it?
Kenny?
Yeah.
We have recorded a few with you remote, but maybe they haven't seen the light of day.
They haven't seen it.
Wait,
This is
maybe they're in the
first one that
archive.
sees light of day.
Wait, really? Is it really the
Yes.
first one?
Yes. It's
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Crazy.
Well, guess what, people?
First one with the remote girly.
Modern technologies deluxe, because we can still zoom Kenny in even when she's miles away.
For those of you watching on
it's
YouTube,
so
you
deluxe.
can't see Kenny, but we can see Kenny. She's right here on our laptop.
They might be able to see Kenny. I think we're going to edit in her video.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm new to this.
I'm
Oh
here.
my gosh.
Sorry, guys.
I
I'm
will
new.
be here.
We love our remote girly.
Yeah,
But-
we love.
It is mid-October.
It is.
We decided for this episode today. What? It's mid-October. I don't know what I'm talking about. We decided for this episode today that we wanted to have you guys submit your questions, and we're going to answer them and kind of build a little episode off of our favorite questions of yours. So we went through them yesterday. We were dying laughing, and then it spiraled into us processing trauma, which was
Yeah.
pretty much how it always turns in this band,
that's how it
which is
goes.
a beautiful moment for us. Yeah, so we've picked our favorite questions. We're going to go through some of them and just gab the fucking guy.
Yeah,
There
the
was-
fucking gab. But
There
before
was
that,
some good questions. We had to group them into episodes.
Yeah, we
Yes.
kind of.
few.
You guys have some
Yes.
good questions.
You guys came in with the hard hitters to the point where we're like, okay, that's a whole episode of its own. That's a whole
Yeah.
episode of its own. But today we found about, I think, eight-ish
less.
questions of two similar themes that we're going to dive into today. And we'll shortly reveal to you what that's going to be. But first, tea of the week. Tea of the week.
All right. I think Katie should start us off with the
Yeah,
tea of the
kick it
well,
off.
Actually, hers is. You just start. Actually, yeah, you just start.
My sleep story? Or what?
Yes,
Whoa.
your sleep story is.
Well, whatever you'd like to share.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Or did you have something specific in mind?
No, that
Yeah.
because it's so
I told
fucking
Crystal
funny.
this yesterday. Okay, so my girlfriend and I went to like see her little sisters who go to school in like near Sacramento. And I'm like a really crazy sleeper. Kenna also sometimes can join me when we room together. Like if someone was sitting in there, they'd probably think we were possessed. Like
The ace faces
I have
So
no.
scary.
I
Yeah.
have more
Faces
than
no.
once thought that Katie Henderson was possessed in the night. More than once.
Literally.
like I am like a little scary, which I hate to admit, but I am.
You
You
are.
can't help it.
I can't help it.
You're just a really intense dreamer, and the ace
Yeah.
faces know this because Katie has a whole Twitter dedicated to her dreams,
I
which
do.
I don't think she's been active.
It's been
on as of
dormant.
late.
I
It's been
haven't-
dormant, so
and
you
I
should
have
get
a few
back
I
on
can
there.
share.
Bring
Yeah.
it back.
Bring it
I
back.
should bring it back. So yeah, I have like really intense dreams and just like a really crazy little sleeper. And I sleep talk a lot and I scare people. And so my girlfriend is learning this. And I have this dream where we are in her car and we're gonna go pick up her sisters up the street. And there's like all these cars lined up on the street blocking the sidewalk. And you know those like those guys that like push the carts at the beach and like sell fruit
Yeah.
and ice cream and stuff.
Yeah, vendors.
So there's a vendor crossing the street with his cart. And in my dream. And we're like coming up the road and I see out of the corner of my eye like her sisters are actually like we were supposed to pick them up like farther or something, but they came to meet us and this street vendor blocks them for like from our view and they're coming to the road. We're like gonna hit them. Like
Oh no.
and so we're coming up the road and I go, no. And I go, I shoot up and hit Alex like so hard.
Wait, not in the dream, in real life.
in real life.
This is in real life.
Like on the chest.
I go like this.
Like, wake her up.
Oh, like slam.
Oh my God. She was asleep? Oh my God.
That's almost as bad as Elisa's date story of the girl waking up.
Yeah,
in the night and
that's
getting
happened to
her.
me. I know what
But
it's
it's
like
worse
to be on
because
the
she
other
was
end of
like
that.
sleeping on her back like this. So I like slammed.
Did you knock the wind out of her? Oh my fucking hell. Holy shit.
She was in such a deep sleep.
Poor Alex.
No idea what's going on. And I immediately, because I like shot up when I did it, and I immediately realized what happened and feel horrific and like go over her. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Oh
like,
my
'cause I'm freaking out. So
God.
she's like, in her, she's like telling me, she's like, I get like hit. I have no idea what happened. And suddenly you're like, grabbing. I'm like, what's going
Poor
on?
girl. That's so traumatic.
What was her first thought?
She was in such a deep sleep that she was just like, is what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, is the house
was
burning
so
She's like, is it an
down?
earthquake? Like, did
Yeah.
a piece of debris just
Yeah.
fall on me? And Katie's so protecting me now.
And
Guys,
I, after that,
slug
just
to the chest.
like,
Damn.
hit her.
Whoa.
But in the dream, we were about to hit her sisters in the car, and like I was trying to be like,
You were trying to like
you
bar
don't
her in the
understand.
dream.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't understand. I'm like trying to protect us.
Whoa.
oh my hell.
You're like, in this realm, I was actually doing the right thing. In reality, I was assaulting you in your sleep.
Can you imagine Alex literally was like, huh? And then Katie's like, I'm so sorry, holding her. She's like, in the bed.
She like, can't breathe.
Swirling.
The wind's knocked out of her. She's like,
That is insane.
It was, and I started bursting. I burst into laughter because I couldn't believe what had just happened.
oh my God.
Which made her even more confused because she's like, why are you laughing? Like, what happened? Like, right back to sleep.
Oh, she
Right
fell
back to bed.
back.
Right back to bed.
Right, like,
Whoa.
fell. She was in
literally
such deep
said
sleep.
she was over last night, and she literally said that she literally just like right back to bed. She was in such a deep sleep, she like was completely unfazed.
That was,
Yeah.
Insane.
I've never done something that deranged, but that
Yeah, that's
actually,
next
like,
level.
It made me feel like, am I a nuisance? Like,
A nuisance to
No,
society.
you're not.
Well,
This is safe
that
space
that
for
We
might
you.
might
have
need
been
to-
a nuisance.
we might
that
we
one
might need
right
to get
there.
you like a straitjacket sleeping bag thing, so like you
Yeah.
can't like you're just like a
I'm
little
sure
worm.
that there
Deadass.
You
actually
can't
are.
assault anyone in your
no,
sleep.
100%.
There has to be like jackets or something that you wear at night that like
There's a
if
market
people
for
who
this.
are like thrashers.
Should we start a
For
business
sure.
for you?
Maybe we should start a
there's-
business.
There's
Based
a
off
huge
this.
issue with sleepwalkers. Like I know there's people who sleepwalk and do like really scary things at night that they have to like be contained in the bed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
what?
my
Strap
cousin
down.
slept like is like a big sleepwalker, and my uncle had to like put like mind games on his door, like locks that he would have to like. It would naturally wake you up because you're not supposed to wake someone up when they're sleepwalking.
Yeah.
It can be really, really bad, actually.
Yeah.
So they need something that will kind of stimulate them and wake them up. So he would put like locks and stuff on his door that he would have to like figure out, and that would wake him up.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Wait,
crazy?
Can we dive into why is it bad for you again? Why can't you wake up someone?
Yeah, I want to know more about that.
I'm not totally sure why. I think it's because it's probably because their brain, like they're kind of their body's awake, but their mind's technically not, and maybe it's like
Yeah,
I don't
what
know,
would
can it-
happen?
No, I feel like
I'm looking
I
it
feel like
up.
that might
Yeah,
be a
look it up.
myth.
Fact check.
I feel
fact
like
check, Kenny.
it's bad to startle them awake. But I think
No,
if
but
you
no,
softly
they
wake
say
them
Okay.
when you have kids that sleepwalk, you're not supposed to wake them up.
Yeah,
when
they
they're-
say that.
Okay, I
wanna know
found
why.
I found a fact check.
Okay.
When startled, the sleepwalker will act out in a manner like a fight or flight response. They may
Yeah.
lash out or fall, which could injure them or the person waking them. According to Wright, which I'm assuming is a doctor, hopefully, it is best to gently encourage or lead a sleepwalker back to bed and let them get on with their night's rest.
Yeah, it's more one of those things like it's not gonna
They
like
could hurt
kill 'em.
themselves or
It's just
you.
like they could freak out because
That's
it's
good.
scary to wake them up.
Yeah, and especially if
But-
it's like your like older brother or like if it was like your husband or someone that was like bigger than you, like if they like freak out and punch you in the face, it's like whoa.
Yeah,
gotta be
that's
careful.
deranged. Okay, well that's Katie's little absolutely insane fight or flight smack dream
Honestly,
situation.
sleepwalking should not be allowed. That is a glitch in the simulation. Like,
Yeah.
why do people do that?
Oh
That's
my
Yeah,
God.
why was that
insane.
coded into the simulation?
Like, why is
Also,
an option.
we
Yeah, that's
should also
insane.
talk about that theory. Maybe this needs to be its own podcast of like like when you're dreaming, like Katie, maybe you were actually in a different dimension, like
Yeah.
like about to get in a car accident. Like, where do we go when we're sleeping and dreaming?
Yeah, Billie
probably- in the
Eilish
words
asks
of
the
Billie
question, when we all
when we all
asleep,
fall asleep, where do we go?
And copyrighted. We can't make money off this episode.
Yeah,
No, just kidding.
amazing. Okay, well, moving on, because we could talk about dimensional car crashes for a really long time. So, what's anyone else's tea? You got some tea of the week, Lee?
I have some tea. I had a birthday.
Hey, our girl had a
She
birthday.
had a birthday.
I had a birthday. I'm a birthday
She
bitch. I'm a
turned
birthday
25.
bitch. I did. I'm a crusty little 25-year-old.
Yeah, you're looking old.
Crusty
Your
and
face
I'm
is
looking
wrinkled.
old as
You're looking like a granny. Should we get you a cane?
Get me a little cane.
We should get you a walker.
Get me a little walker. Help me out. I'm feeling a little creaky in these bones. But I had a birthday and I decided to celebrate in Utah, as Ken knows, because I came home and hung out with her a lot. So yeah, we were there all last week. Me, my girlfriend, and Crystal went and stayed with my mom, and we basically just like hiked a ton, hot tubbed a lot, cold plunged a lot in the river,
Cold
which was
plunge.
deluxe.
It was charmed. Like, there was
So
something
charmed.
about that weekend. The energy was
So
different.
fresh. And then we spent the weekend with sweet Kenny Ree, whipped up probably the most delicious meal I've had in years
God.
on my behalf,
nice.
and fed the family. It was deluxe.
She did.
And we had really good wine. And then she hosted a backyard
Backdoor.
outdoor movie. And I unfortunately picked a movie that was really fucking bad.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my fault because it had 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. But
Really?
it was the worst movie I've
What was
seen in
it?
years. It's
So
a
bad.
movie called
Hellraiser.
Hellbender.
Hellbender.
It was a movie called
Oh.
Hellbender about a coming of age story of a young witch, and she's like finding out she's a witch. And it seemed kind of dope, but then it was just so low budget and so indie, and the acting was so bad, and the special effects were so bad that it was just incredibly corny and just like really not good.
The
Like,
acting was borderline
not
like
good.
sassy. For like
So
a scary
sassy.
movie, and it was getting
Yeah.
sassy. So
It
like,
just wasn't
I have a
good.
hot take. I kind of liked it.
Kenna did kind of like
Kenna
it.
liked it, but I honestly
weirdly
feel like
kinda
Kenna
liked
liked it
it.
because it was like camp.
But
Like
it-
she like thought it was funny.
Fair.
That's
Honestly,
so-
yeah.
Kenna liked it because she was relieved that it wasn't as scary as it was.
Honestly,
As-
You know
as
what's
we thought
so
it was gonna
funny?
be.
That's actually it. That's actually it. Like, I left the
Relieved.
movie not feeling like haunted for weeks,
Yeah.
and that's why I liked it.
Yeah.
Well, I picked it because I think that witchcraft stuff is like really spooky and I love scary movies. So I wanted to pick a scary movie. And then the saddest part about it is I spent like a good 30 minutes like scouring the
Yeah,
internet
you-
and Rotten
You
Tomatoes. Like,
honestly did such a good job trying to
I
find
really
the right movie.
really worked hard to find cause I'm
supporting.
I'm obsessed with movies and I like really like to like know what I'm getting into. I don't want to watch a bad movie, but like, so I scoured the internet and then I found this one had a super high rating. I was like, damn, 97, it's got to be good. And then I read also a bunch of reviews of people being like, the acting's amazing. Like it's a very indie film, but they pulled it off. I'm like, cool, I like indie films. And then 5 minutes into the movie, I was like, God damn, this is not good. I can just tell
really
this is
bad.
not going to be good. Like it's already corny. So I was in a tricky situation though mentally because I'd already kind of fought for the movie. Like I'd already kind of been like, guys, like
She
I think
had
it'll be
fought.
good.
You had to
I think it'll be
defend it.
good. Like it has a really high rating. The synopsis sounds cool. It's like witchcraft. That's creepy.
tricky.
Let's do it. And everyone was kind of like, oh, we'd rather watch Barbarian or one of those other like blockbuster movies. And I was like, okay, I'm down for that too. But like, I feel like this would be good. And we were going to watch Barbarian, but we found out that we couldn't, it's actually still in theaters and we couldn't find it online. So then we found this one online for like $2. So we're like, let's just watch this one. Everyone's like, okay, we'll give it a shot. And I even said, if we get 10 minutes in and it sucks, let's turn it off. And so within the first few minutes, I'm like, oh, fuck, this sucks. And then like 5 minutes in, I'm like, how's everybody feeling?
the way in which Elisa like literally wouldn't stop asking every 20 minutes how everyone was feeling. It was
Because
like,
I
girl,
wanted to turn it off, but
girl,
I wanted to
let
turn it off.
it go.
But the thing is I kept asking because I really wanted to turn it off, but I felt terrible that I'd already like really vouched for this movie and then to be like,
It was
well, I don't care if
tricky,
you
yeah.
like it because I'm turning it
no,
off.
Elisa,
Like, I couldn't do
Elisa
that.
has this thing because she like loves film and movies. Like, I feel like because she picked it, she had to actively keep reminding everybody that she didn't think it was good, so that her taste remained intact.
Right. My reputation.
She had to keep being like, my reputation's on the line.
My reputation
here.
was on the line.
And I did.
It really was.
You know what?
This movie.
You know what? I want to fight against that in the system. Why is it if you vouch for something like a restaurant or something, but you don't know, and suddenly
Yeah.
it's bad and it's your fault?
Remember
Yeah.
when Kenna took us to Lemonade?
Lemonade.
you will never let that go. And that's haunted me because it's something I value.
have
Like
honestly-
taking people to restaurants and like finding good restaurants is the same as you, Alice Film. Like
Yeah.
that has haunted me to the end
But the
of
thing
time.
is, it's not anyone's fault
It's
if it's
literally
bad.
no one's
Kenna's
fault.
redeemed
You guys
herself.
didn't make the movie. Ken didn't create the restaurant.
Yeah,
like
Ken
it's
is
no one's
not
fault.
the fucking cook.
This is why you have to be careful
So
what you commit to.
yeah, but to also
You just gotta be like, hey, one time I ate here and it was really good. That's
I
all
don't
I know.
know.
You
But
can't be
that's
like,
all I
you
know.
can't be like, this is the best restaurant I've
I
been to in my
know.
entire
But
life.
people get
Okay,
excited and they
to
get
my-
passionate.
Yeah.
To my defense, with the lemonade thing, I never said like this is the story. So this was
Yeah, give
probably
them
what in like
context.
2016.
Yes, so
We were super young, like first going to LA, and I was like, oh, I think I've heard of that restaurant. I've heard it's good. I don't even think I've been there before.
Yeah.
And we all went, and I think like Katie had family that was in LA that
Yep.
came with us too. Like it was a big group.
Yeah.
It was a
And
huge group.
everyone was so scared. Like we got there and it was literally like a lunchroom cafeteria.
Yep.
Yeah, if you've
And
been to
that
Lemonade in LA,
location
it's a
was
vibe.
like especially
Particularly
sus.
yucky.
But you guys never let me forgot that. And every time for the next 5 years, when I ever recommended a restaurant, you guys would be like,
yeah.
I don't know,
She-
Ken.
like, we
like,
put her-
that one
We had
time.
such a bad experience at Lemonade that we dead ass so in the most evil manner put Kenna on like a 5-year probation.
Probation.
But the thing is,
Literally.
you know what though? Now, whenever we got to eat, we always let Kenna pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now
Maybe it was that situation that birthed
But I
that.
fought for that. Like
Yeah,
I
you
had
did.
to fight.
You had to
so
fight for
hard
it.
to get to where I'm at right
Yeah,
now.
to
She
get to where you're
did.
at
That's the
today.
thing, like, if
because
you-
now Kenna's our go-to for restaurants. She
Oh, yeah.
always finds the best restaurants.
That's the
Yeah.
thing though. If you've been there once or seen the movie once or whatever and you recommend it, different.
That's
You
different,
take
yeah.
fault.
you do
If
take
it's
fault.
if it's something that you've never seen, you just heard about, or
Yeah.
a place you haven't gone
That's
to,
very true.
Yeah.
that's different. It's not your fault, but for
Mhm.
some reason we all like get defensive and like, no, it's good when like
Yeah.
you know it's
I
bad. It's like,
know.
And it's also like, I've never been here either. I just found it online. Like, I don't know.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
kept checking in with Hellbender because I was just like, I feel bad that I forced everyone to watch this movie, and now I'm like realizing, like, yes, it is really bad.
But
So, like, does
sometimes-
anyone want to turn it off?
But a movie is an experience sometimes. I feel like once you start it, just finish it. Once you, even if it's
That's-
bad, just
that's-
let it
yeah.
go.
Where I'm at too. And it
Yeah.
was so funny during that experience because I felt like both of you guys kept on being like, and we were like getting more and more into it, like 30, 40 minutes. And it was also getting late. So it's like, we can't start a movie
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
this point.
It's too
And I
late.
was like, we're in it. Like, we have to just finish the movie.
Yeah. I felt like I was
Yeah.
like really wanting to watch a good movie, so I was trying to turn around the train without making it without turning around by force. And then I was like, okay, well, I was more concerned like if you guys are like happy and not literally hating me for turning on this movie, then like I can watch it too. Like that's
No
fine.
one hates you at all. I thought it was a fun experience. I
It was
kind of
great.
liked it.
It was great. So yeah, we watched an awful movie because Lisa has really bad taste in movies.
Exactly.
And, just kidding.
It was a great birthday weekend though, right?
Oh,
you had a
it's
good birthday?
What'd you think?
Amazing. Oh yeah, to finish my tea of the week. It was amazing birthday weekend. I'm almost birthday. I'm doing something again for my birthday tonight, as you
Yep.
girls know.
We do.
But like, because gotta show the give the LA people a chance to celebrate
Come
me. Come on. I feel like
on.
I'm such a birthday bitch. Like I will
Jeez
just let it go on
Louise.
forever.
yeah.
I will simply
It's your
let if
right.
you want to
It's your
keep
right.
celebrating my life, we'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's your right.
True.
But no,
I
it was a
love
great
it.
weekend.
Yeah.
Great
Amazing.
week.
Love.
Utah
Good.
was.
Chris, do you have any tea?
I have a little bit of tea. I have some wholesome tea. I just started anxiety medication for the first time in my life. So that's exciting. I started like a low dose of anxiety medication, which is, I'm still kind of like getting used to it. Like anxiety medication, like some of the side effects, if for those who don't take it, it can make you just like a little drowsy, a little dizzy. So I'm still kind of adjusting, but it usually should settle after a couple weeks. So it's helping me sleep better because I've always struggled with
Really?
sleep, which
Nice.
is great.
That's huge.
I feel like for those that struggle with sleep, which I feel like is like probably pretty much everyone on the
lot of people.
planet.
Yep.
I really struggle with sleep because of my anxiety, would be up really late and not feel rested and, like that repeat. And I'm noticing that like when I choose to go to bed, I can fall asleep like pretty quickly, which has like
That's
never been the case
amazing.
before. Like I can just lay down and like feel tired and like fall asleep. So that's been really nice. Started a little anxiety meds. We'll do a whole episode where we talk about mental health and stuff, but that's been a game changer. I'm going to see how it goes over
It's
the next month.
amazing.
Yes.
And then, went to Utah with Elise. Cold plunged. I'm obsessed with the cold plunge. For those who also struggle with chronic anxiety, if you can sit in like really cold water for like 2 minutes a day, will change your life.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even if you don't have chronic anxiety, like
Yeah.
it also is the best energizer ever. Like
Yeah.
it works like a cup of coffee, but like 10 times better without jitters, without any of that stuff. And it lasts all day.
Yeah.
Like if
It
I
really
do that in the
is.
morning,
Sustainable.
I wouldn't even need to drink coffee,
Yeah.
honestly.
No, it's unreal. So Kenna
Yeah.
took us on this hike. We were cold plunging. I mean, in Utah, obviously, like where we grew up, there's a river, a lake every which way you
Yeah.
turn, like of the most beautiful mountain crisp water. It's so insane. But Kenna took us on this crazy little hike that we went on and with the most beautiful views in the fucking world. And then you get up to the top of this like still water, beautiful lake. And
Alpine Lake.
so pretty.
we plunged in there. We got deluxe.
We were really good in there too. We stayed in for like a couple minutes, like a
Yeah.
few minutes in that one.
We killed
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, I've been doing that. Been trying to jerry rig
Yeah.
a cold plunge situation
Yeah,
in
me
my
and Crystal
LA
are-
apartment.
Have you figured it out? You were looking into that
I
when you were
think
here
that
last.
we might be able to figure out doing like a small freezer situation, like out
Yeah.
back of my apartment
You
building,
need
and
it.
we would just. I'm gonna talk quietly because like I don't know if my neighbors are listening. But ASMR. Sorry. Okay. Pretty much. Pretty
Wait,
much.
what just happened?
I started. I started whispering because I don't want my neighbors to. Why am I cutting out?
I can't hear.
Because you're
Probably because
talking
you need
so
to
quiet,
talk
the
at
mic
a
can't pick
certain
it up.
volume.
Oh, the
We for
mic.
ASMR you have to
Okay,
turn up
okay.
the sensitivity like
Sorry,
crazy.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna talk like this so you can hear me. I just don't know. Okay, fuck it.
Just talk,
Anyway,
dude. No one can hear you.
We're gonna probably try to just power it from our apartment.
yeah,
deck,
with a
because
extension
apparently fridges don't take that much power.
Yeah.
Like small ones, they
No,
really
yeah,
don't take that much
no.
power at all.
Yeah.
it's
Like
a freezer you need, right? Not a
freezer,
fridge.
yeah.
It's
A freezer.
so, we'll see. I don't know
You
if it's
guys
gonna be
could
possible.
totally do
but
that.
we're
Slip a
gonna-
little extension cord through the patio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So we might have to.
We might go
because
crazy.
For me, I'm like, that is like a night and day difference
Yeah.
in my anxiety when I can do that every day. It's like that's the only thing about
Yeah.
living in LA that gets hard is like just the access to like wellness like that is a lot more difficult unless you have a lot of money. And you can have a big house with like a yard, which like in LA is like pretty much unheard of unless you have
Yeah.
a fuck ton of money. And so
Yeah.
you're in apartment living and in an apartment, right? It's like you can't, that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
And then also if you want like a membership to a spa or something, they're like so expensive here. Like I literally was looking into cold plunging at a medical spa near me, $300 a month to cold plunge.
Yeah, it's come on.
Insane.
Just for
I'm
cold
like,
water.
Come on.
Come on.
That's
that
ridiculous.
should be criminal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's where I'm at. I'm on my wellness journey, loves.
Yeah, no,
love
I'm
that
so
for you,
stoked about the
loves.
fucking cold plunge, dude.
The cold plunge goes crazy. So
And again, like Crystal mentioned, like if you struggle with anxiety or just in general, like want to try it, it's amazing. You can even do cold showers, but like if you can find like a cold body of water, like if you live in Utah and you have access to rivers or lakes, or if you're somewhere more like
Anywhere,
LA and you can like afford to like fill up your bathtub or a trough of
Yeah, a
sorts,
trough of
a
sorts.
freezer with cold water, go try it. If you really just get like 10 to 20 good deep breaths in, it's miserable at first, but if you just get like 10 to 20 good breaths in, it will change your day.
yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
even,
I think the recommended is like 10 minutes a week is
yeah,
like where it's the best. And anything
Deluxe.
more than that, it like doesn't have
yeah.
as much of
I
an
can see
effect.
that.
So that's
but-
like,
I
so that would
find
be
it's
like if you did it
just
like, what,
2
like
minutes a
5,
day.
like Monday through Friday, 2 minutes every morning,
Yep.
you're nailing like the optimal
Yep.
benefits.
Well, because it's like Ellen, one of our best friends, her boyfriend, I was talking to him about it, and he was like, you just want to go past the point of like comfort. Like you want to push right past the really,
Yeah.
really uncomfortable point where like you start to get a little numb. And like
Yeah.
I noticed that.
And that comfort point
Once
is
I
probably
do
different for
that-
everyone too.
Yeah,
totally.
yeah. Especially, well, if you're not cold acclimated, that will happen quickly.
And
Like,
especially if you
yeah.
probably have like really low body fat too. I feel like you would like get a
Yeah,
lot colder a
Cal has
lot
super low
faster.
body fat and he gets so cold so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And takes forever to warm back up.
Dang.
Yeah. Dang.
So yeah, give it a try. It's amazing. I think it's like one of the absolute best things you can do for yourself. And in most places, not most, some, it can be totally free.
Yeah.
So
Cold
yeah.
plunge, sponsor
Go
us.
Cold plunge. Cold
Yeah,
plunge, sponsor
if someone that
us.
owns one of those deluxe spas is listening, check your girls a lifetime pass.
Check your girls
Dead
out.
ass.
And then maybe we
Sponsor
won't talk
us.
shit on your crazy prices anymore.
Yeah.
Ken, you
I
got
have-
tea?
I have some tea, more just like, so I have a really funny dream story that's actually part of one of the themes of the questions. So I'm going to save it. And I know Crystal has one too. So we'll save that
Okay.
for that section. But
Yes.
I got pulled over today. Like, it's just been kind of a like,
No.
No.
Why? Why'd you get
Wake
pulled
up.
over?
just for speed, just like really annoying things have happened today. You know, when you just wake up and have one of those days where you're like,
Yeah.
today is going to be one of those days.
Yeah,
and I
it's
just
gonna
have
be
to let it
annoying.
happen.
Yeah.
Like for instance, I woke up, me and Cal took Nori on a hike. We didn't have like a ton of time. And we get to the trailhead and I left my shoes at home, like my trail shoes.
Oh,
So I
fuck.
dropped them
That
off.
sucks.
And also on the way to the trail, I looked over and I was like, Cal, there's a cop right there. Like, there's like a speed trap situation going on. I was like, there's a cop right there. And so like he slowed down whenever we go. We're fine. Then I dropped them off. I turn around to go back home to get my shoes, which is like an extra like 15, 20 minutes of driving.
Right.
I'm driving down and I get pulled over by the cop that I saw 10 minutes before.
Damn it.
And it
God
was
damn
so annoying because it's like a speed trap situation where like it's at the bottom of
Yeah.
this hill. You don't even know what the speed limit was. I was going like 8 over the speed limit.
Oh my God.
got
Only
pulled
8?
over.
What a bitch.
Got pulled over. That took like a whole,
Yeah.
that was like a whole its own situation. But just like things like that. Just
I
like
hate
forgot
that.
my
Honestly,
shoes.
Honestly, fuck them. 8 over the speed limit in an area that's not busy. I'm like, they say they don't have quotas. They totally do.
Oh yeah.
They're just trying to make
that's
money.
the thing too. Yeah. And then when I drove past after to go pick them up and he had pulled someone else over.
Nah.
No.
He's
that's
trying to
so
hit his quota
stupid.
for the month or some shit.
No.
Ugh,
It
that's
was
annoying.
He's out,
annoying.
he's out to ruin mornings.
Yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
So it's just been like one of those days.
Yeah, I feel
Ah,
you, girl.
One of those
Damn,
days.
sorry.
Well,
Kenny
you're
Reed.
Yeah.
safe in Ace's space.
You are. You're here now.
Yeah, I'm excited to chat.
Tickets
I feel like
don't
you just gotta
exist
lean
here.
in and just be like, today might be like shit might go crazy and that's okay.
Yeah, just
Damn.
lean in.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Lean
It
in.
happens.
I like that mindset. With that mindset, should we kick her off?
Should we lean in?
Let's
Kick her off.
to our
Let's get into the
Okay,
questions.
so we kind of grouped, there were a lot of like questions and similar themes and
Yep.
we wrote down all of them and we're going to save them for like future episodes and some of them we're going to like do like a full episode on. You guys asked really good questions, but the first theme, there was a lot of like relationship advice questions.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which
there was.
You know we love to gab the gab on relationships.
Always.
So I grouped them together. The first question
Yes.
is best advice for saying I love you to your partner for the first time. So many nerves.
I love this question. I actually, a few years back with my first girlfriend, kind of asked my friends a lot about this time. I think I even asked you, Ken, and I talked to Ellen about it a few times and Crystal and like a few different people because I remember I was really in my head about saying I love you because I'd never said it to someone before. And it was the first time I really felt like I loved someone. And so I remember I'd been dating my girlfriend for like a couple months at that point, and I was like really feeling like I wanted to say it. And there was even one moment where we were like out on this balcony and it was like a beautiful summer rain and like the sunset and like we just like cooked dinner and we were like sitting on this dinner. We were like eating this dinner and then like a light trickle started and it was like so picturesque and beautiful and like I really wanted to say I loved her right then, but I didn't. And I kind of just like didn't. We like almost said it, but we didn't. And then I remember talking to my friends and being like, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like it means a lot to me to say that. And like, I've never said it to someone before. And like, I feel like I don't like, I want to maybe get to know her better because like, I really want to like mean it when I say, I was like being like kind of a freak
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just feel like I want it to like, I want to really mean it. And I feel like, how can I tell someone I love them if I don't like know them yet? And I was like really like kind of swirling about it. And I actually think Ellen said this to me, but Ellen was like, girl, like love is just like a feeling. Like you're going to be getting to know someone for the rest of your life when you find your partner. Like, and love evolves. Like if you're feeling it, just say it. And I was like, damn.
Yeah,
I
Wise
think
words,
that's really
Al.
good advice.
Yeah.
I think that's really good advice of just like, if you're feeling it, say it. Just have it like feel authentic and genuine. And you're obvious like thinking about when me and Cal said I love you for the first time. Like we had no idea like what that
Was
even
in
was.
store,
And I don't
yeah.
think we were like at the point where we really loved each other, but it was like we were just feeling that. And so we
Yeah.
did it. And I feel like that is really good advice of just like say it if you're feeling it and don't hold back and just make
Yeah,
it
I
genuine.
feel like everyone's different in the way that they you know, the way they want to be like, I don't know, proposed to, told they love, like I love, asked to be boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, like partners. Like I feel like for me, I love like a really simple, non-grandiose thing. Like I love like we're in the kitchen cooking and like just having this moment together and we like say that. Or like just something that feels really normal and like I think it's really special, like the normalcy of like taking care of one another and like showing up for one another. And like I remember you told me something really sweet, Ken, when because I asked you like, how did you know that like you wanted to marry Callan? And you said that when you guys went to Iceland and you like there was like this big storm and you were like freezing and like crying and like really miserable because you guys were like trying to get through this like really gnarly storm and like camping. And you said that like Callan was like up every hour, like making sure that you were dry.
He
and
was like holding the tent over my
tent.
head so I could sleep.
Yeah.
I think that was the first moment when I like realized that I loved Cal. Like we had been saying I love you for a while, but that was the first moment where I was like, wait, like I'm actually like in love with this person.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really
Which
sweet.
is like so sweet.
Angel.
And I think like to me, like when you told me that story, I feel like it gave me like a lot of peace as like your sister and your best friend to marry him because I was like, oh, he like really, really loves her and cares about her and he's gonna like really take care of her. Because to like stand and like cover someone so that they can sleep, like that is true
So sweet.
love. Like
Yeah,
it literally
it
is
is.
bringing a tear to my eye. So like
me too.
Very
honestly, like
sweet.
that's just really sweet. And so I feel like those kind of moments to me, I would rather someone like tell me they love me in like a really simple moment like that of like just genuine care and adoration. To me personally, like some people love like a big display of affection. And I think that can also be beautiful.
Yeah,
but
and that's totally up to you and also like knowing the person that you're saying I love you to, like what their vibe is. Cause if you want to do something like big and cool and fun, go for it.
Go
but
crazy.
also if you're just like, driving in the car or making dinner or like whatever, and you feel it. I think just say it when you feel it. Like read
when
the
you
moment
notice
and just
yourself
say
like
it.
stopping yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like
Say
there's-
it.
when you're
Yeah.
dating at first and you notice like you're holding back from saying it, then you should say it.
Because
Yeah.
here's a good thought on that too, is because like, okay, remember I talked about the picturesque moment, right? Where I really wanted to say I love you, but I didn't. And then I talked to my friends and I was like, fuck, you're right. I should just say it. I don't need to like wait 10 years to like know. That's insane.
Yeah.
So then we ended up saying I love you for the first time when we were both like so drunk and she had been like throwing up and I was taking care of her and we said I love you and it was really sweet because it was just like so silly and like ridiculous and like we just really like felt it for each other in that moment and I wouldn't take it back, but it's also like could have had the picturesque moment though.
Yeah.
The throwing up was funny, but like
Yeah.
just say it when you feel it. You know what I mean?
Just say it when you
truthfully.
feel it.
And also, Ken?
No, you go.
I was just going to say, I think it's also important to remember there is no timeline on when you should or shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like I have
Totally,
taken,
yeah.
I've said I love you in the first month or two. I've also not said I love you for like almost 6 or more months of dating someone, even like close to 9, like a year, whatever. Like I feel like you just get to say things when you feel them and you don't have to feel like, oh my God, like we've been dating for 6 months. Like, I should have said it already. Like, just say it when it feels right
when
to
it feels
you.
authentic. And who cares if that feels crazy fast or if it's not
Long.
feeling authentic for longer. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
I've been saying this to a few friends lately, and I was thinking about this a lot, but I totally agree. And I think like if it is love and if it's good, it will stay.
Yeah.
You know, like it won't go anywhere. I think I feel like when you start to fall in love with someone and you're feeling those feelings, sometimes at the very beginning of that, I can feel like, should I say it or not?
Yeah,
And when you're in that, I don't think you have to say it if you're not ready. Because if it is that, it will stay there.
It'll just
it's not
grow.
going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
like
sure.
if
There's no rush.
if it's like a lustful excitement thing that you're not totally sure, like just wait.
Yeah, just wait.
Do you know what I mean? Because that will die. But like
Yeah.
like real love will just stay there.
We'll keep growing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like just I think if you're like not totally sure, but I was telling Crystal like before I said I love you to my girlfriend, I was like I feel like it was getting to a point where it was like it was like
That was really
hard.
crazy.
It was getting hard not to say it. And that's like kind of when I really
That's
knew
a good
like,
sign.
yeah, because I was like, it's like at a
Yeah.
point, it's
Mhm.
getting hard not to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, just like that's when I knew, okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready to
Yeah.
say this.
So all in all, to sum it up, Ace Face, to answer your question, follow your gut. Follow
the
your
heart.
heart. It's cliche, but it's true. And say it when you feel like saying it, and say it when you're ready, and in a
Yeah.
way that feels authentic to you.
Just go for it.
Go for it. What's the worst that
I
can
also
happen?
think like quickly before we move on to like, I also think like, I'm sure this person will say they love you back. And like, I've been fortunate to be in situations where like I have gotten an I love you too. But I also went into it being like, if you feel really authentic about it, just go for it. And like at that point, your authentic feelings are not invalid, even if they're not reciprocated. Like, I think if you love someone, just tell them.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a vulnerable thing to do, but I think you'll never regret being vulnerable. And even if you don't get like the response you want, it's still like better to have an open heart, be a good communicator, be expressive. Like that's why you're in relationships, is to just like learn, to get better at those things. And I think that you should never, regret saying it, even if you don't get a response that you want.
I totally agree.
Agreed.
Totally agree.
Very sweet.
Agreed.
Okay, next
Okay.
question.
Next question. Getting over an ex ?
I have a very specific theory on getting over someone. And you have to be, I think if you want to get over someone, you can. It really just depends on the effort you're willing to put in to get over somebody.
Yeah.
Because you can, if you want to swirl and think about this person and look up their Instagram every day and feel some type of way about it, you can. I think when I have actively been like, okay, like I'm moving on is when I actually heal and move on from somebody. But it's way harder to do than, way harder to do than it is to just talk about it, right? But
easier said than
in
done.
my opinion, when you're ready to get over someone, you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like,
because it
truthfully.
requires a lot of boundaries. Like I feel like and every situation is different. Some situations are more layered. Maybe it's an ex of years. Maybe it was like a situationship. Like, and maybe this person, maybe this person has a hold on you in a weird way. So like every situation is different, and some people are harder to get over than others for whatever reasons. But I do agree that to get over someone, it requires a lot of boundaries. Like Chris was saying, like you have to set that boundary with yourself, which is like, I'm not going to look at their social media anymore. I'm not going to reply to their texts or whatever. And sometimes if you have to block people, fucking block people. That's what it's for. Like if you need to block people on socials, Gmail, Venmo, whatever you need to do, fucking go for that shit. However you can insulate yourself from that person in order to heal, you should do it. Honestly, I would definitely encourage people to do that.
100%.
And then also it's really up to you. Like I agree with Chris, like it's up to you. You can swirl for as long as you want by all means, or you can be like, I'm over the swirl. I want to heal, and just set those boundaries. And then also there's a mental work element of it too, where it's kind of like going deeper with yourself, being like, why do I still want this person that doesn't want me? Like why am I doing that? What do I like about this person in the first place? Did they make me even feel good about myself to start? And why do I want to be together with someone that doesn't want to be together with me?
That's like
so
so
important.
huge. I feel like honestly, I feel like for me too, like getting over my recent ex was a lot about like me.
Yep.
Like it wasn't even really about.
It's not even
I
about
think
them.
I thought it was a lot about her. But
Relationships are just about you.
Yeah, like and I had to like really figure out like, why can't I get over this person? Why is it really hard for me to get over this relationship? Like I felt so like that breakup was so hard for me. It was really hard for me to like get over that situation. And a lot of it was just because I think like I was really running away from myself in so many ways. And it was really hard for me to like return to self, like and like heal myself and like be like, it doesn't, I mean, of course it has a lot to do with the relationship and her and all this stuff, but like I think a lot of it is just the self-work.
It's just the self-talk. And I also think you have to ask yourself, because like, right, when you talk to yourself, you talk to people who are like, oh, I can't get over them, whatever. It's like, okay, are you ready to fully not stop talking to them 100%?
Yeah.
Have nothing to do with them, never look at their social media ever, all that stuff. And like a lot of the time, when I was going through super hard, like I can't get over toxic kind of relationships, the truth of the matter is I didn't have boundaries. I didn't want to have those boundaries yet because something about that relationship
Yeah.
was weirdly, I was getting something out of it, right?
Yeah,
like I was getting
sure,
something
yeah.
out of that like exchange. And I actually, when I thought about cutting them off, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
though. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, then I'm not ready to get over that.
It was
like,
exacerbating
think
like
I-
some sort of trauma, some sort of
Yeah.
something that's like, why do I
Yeah.
constantly want to be invalidated?
Yeah.
Like, why do I
I think
constantly want to
that's
feel
a
like I'm not
good-
enough?
100%. Yeah.
I think that's a good question to ask yourself too, is like, what does that person represent to you?
yeah.
Like what about like them and losing them and like cutting all ties with them? Like, why does that
Mhm.
feel unsafe for you?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
just doing that extra layer of like learning more about yourself through it and
Mhm.
letting yourself, like holding space for those parts of yourself that are like attached to that person in whatever way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think is a really good way to kind of move on.
And what you
Exactly.
tell yourself about that person, I think, is really, really important because
Yes.
The
I've had
stories.
friends or myself as well. It's like, people that say like, oh, like I'm never gonna get over them. They're my forever
Mhm.
love. I'm so
Mhm.
in love. It's like, quit telling yourself
Yeah.
that. Like,
no.
quit
Yeah.
saying that to yourself. Like, if this isn't working out with this person for whatever reason, either you two just aren't good for each other, it's a timing
Yep.
thing, or it's just like a bad relationship and like it's not working.
Yeah.
Say to yourself, like, that's not for me
Yeah.
because it's not easy and it doesn't make me, it's not giving
Yeah.
me what I actually need. So, like,
Yep.
that person's not my forever love.
Yeah.
I will get over them. They're just a
Yeah.
person.
Well,
Yes.
that's
You
I
know?
think
the self-talk is huge. And I honestly think everyone needs to give them, especially coming out of a bad breakup, like give yourself grace and time.
Yes.
Like, I think everybody handles breakups differently.
Yep.
And sometimes, like when you're getting out of a relationship, it can feel really overwhelming with like the advice you get from friends and stuff. Cause
Yeah.
it's like, get over them. Or it's a lot of time, really easy for the people who are really close to you and around you who saw if it was like a bad relationship or they knew you should get out of it or whatever, to be like, get out kind of thing. And you can feel like judged for not
Yeah.
being over the relationship. But I think
Yeah.
like giving yourself grace and time to figure that out and
Yes.
like talking to yourself like that, I think that is like, if you can do that consistently and really kind of
It
build,
builds. Yeah.
that will just help you so much get over that
Yeah,
situation.
just pay close mind to your thoughts and the stories you're telling yourself about this person and question them. Be like, is that actually true? Are they actually this great person I think they are? And then exactly what Katie said, just be soft on yourself. I think like as long as it needs
Time.
for you, if you need to wild out, if you need to just sob for a little bit,
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
It's totally part of the healing process. Hopefully that was helpful to
Yes,
you.
it's a
Ace
combo.
Face.
Give yourself time, be
Ace
gracious
Face.
with yourself, and then
Yeah.
when you're ready to get over someone, you will be ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll be
get
ready.
over
I
them.
think too, one last thing I want to add is like, I feel like for me, if you have access to it, I think therapy is super helpful to like
Yeah.
do that process too, because relationships get so enmeshed with like childhood stuff and family
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yep.
like, I don't think I realized how connected everything was. And so like, before I could fully move on, I had to kind of like work on some of the older things that were there kind of getting
Yeah.
tangled up and
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah.
I think that is a helpful way to
Get to the
work through it
root of
too.
it. But anyway,
Yes.
Ace Face, we love you. We're sorry. We're sorry.
It's hard.
That you're
Exes are
struggling with an
hard.
ex. It's
That
we hope that
sucks.
this advice was somehow helpful to anyone that's listening that might be trying to get over an ex, but specifically the Ace Face that asked this. We love you. Better times are ahead of you, and
got
hopefully that was
this.
applicable. And if it wasn't, we don't know your specific situation. So
Wait, actually, this just
Yeah.
reminded me of it. I told Crystal this. So I got stopped by a girly, a sweet fan girly at a grocery store just recently. And she's like, "Oh my God, I love your music." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." It was really, really sweet. The next week, I checked my requests in my DMs, and she had DM'd me and was like, "It was so nice meeting you. I was actually with my partner at the time of seeing you, and we were just about to break up. And I kind of knew that situation was about to happen. And I like came into that, like I was listening to Under My Influence, like on repeat." She said, she like drove,
Aw.
like when she was going to meet her partner, she was like, "I was listening to your album and it just brought me so much comfort. And then like seeing you after listening to it was just like, it's going to be okay."
Aww.
And I was like
that's
getting
really nice.
so emo about that because
very
That's
sweet.
I've gone into
sweet.
really hard, like when you know you're about to go into a really hard conversation and you like have that music you go to that really
Yeah.
comforts you and like helps you know you can get through a situation. And I've been there, and just to know that people think that they can find comfort in us like going about to go through something hard was like
Aw,
so sweet.
That's
So
really sweet.
if you're in that situation, your
Turn
girl's
on
got
UMI.
We love
We're
you.
here
and
to
we
say
got
yes.
you.
We got you. And like, yeah, exactly. I mean, if you listen to Umi or any of our music, really, you know that we've been in the bouts of toxic shit and in and
Yes.
out and getting sucked in and spit out and sucked in and spit out. So
Yeah.
like, we're no fucking messiah. on
Yeah, we're
this
not. We're
topic.
telling
Like,
you.
we've been down bad too, babe. So like, we feel
Oh yeah,
you.
we feel you 100%.
Yeah.
These
And
are
we
just
love you.
these are just some truths we can share that we've.
These
From
are
our
the truths we have.
experience.
Okay,
How many
next
more relationship questions should we do? 1, 2?
Do one more.
Let's do one more, and then
let's move
we'll
on to-
change.
Okay, last relationship question. Besties, can 2 bottoms work? Help a girl out.
I love this question.
You know what? I'm gonna say that they can.
You know what? I will
It depends.
say-
It depends on the bottoms.
I will say that I could see 2 bottoms working better than 2 tops. Maybe.
Okay.
I feel like maybe there's a little bit. I don't know. I don't know why.
I think
I
that
just feel
it
that
depends.
way.
It depends on the severity of your bottom condition, and it
Yep.
depends on if
Mhm.
you are willing to give a little bit and take a little bit, literally and
Yeah.
figuratively. So,
Yeah.
it just I think it totally depends on your personalities. If you're both bottoms, if it doesn't come naturally to you to kind of top, I just think it's like I think you just both have to communicate about that and figure out like how can you do this, the thing that you're not used to? How can you like top in a way that feels authentic for you? Because
How can you talk in a way that feels authentic for you? We're putting that in inspiring quotes and we're posting that.
I
We're
think-
posting that on our Instagram.
Is that not true though? Because I feel like it's like if you're two, like if your sexual dynamic is like you're kind of the same and you both kind of do the like are more comfortable operating more as like bottoms, then you are gonna have to maybe tap into some new waters for each other. But like just finding a way to do that doesn't feel like you're like putting on a different personality or
I don't
putting on
know.
a different
Okay.
thing or whatever.
I
Like
think that
I think that these things are just they're just things and they don't need to come with like a full
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
stereotype
I think
attached to them?
labels. I think
Yeah.
labels can be helpful for people, and I don't want to like take that away from anyone that feels really attached to a label that's helped them come into their own. The way that you use labels in your life, whether in sexuality, gender, whatever, is your choice, right? But I think if there's something that is attracting you to this person, and you guys have this like attraction to each other, and you really like each other, then why not just experiment and try a bunch of different stuff and like maybe put the labels aside and just share intimacy together and see where that goes.
Yeah.
And like I think that like it doesn't have to be so maybe labeled and rigid, and there doesn't have to be so much like specific assigned identity in that regard. Like
For sure, yeah.
just explore.
explore.
Bottom schmottom, top schmop.
schmott.
Yeah,
Top
like
schmop.
who cares?
Yeah.
Like just
If
do
you
it
have
again.
love,
there.
if you have love for someone, you can make anything work. I think.
Yeah,
agree.
totally.
Get in
And
there
sex
and share
is
a
so much
moment.
about that. Like sex is like just an extension of the feelings you have for
Yeah.
someone. And I think if you care about someone and they care about you,
Yeah.
you can make whatever
And I
work.
think
right.
the most beautiful last thing I'll say, the most beautiful thing that I think about queer like sex and intimacy, and I think this can definitely be applied into hetero relationships as well, but is just the ability to like reject all of the roles. Like I
Yes.
think that like that
Stereotypes,
when
yeah.
you can reject that and be like, you know what, I'm just me and my partner's just them, and we just get to show up and be whoever we want to be
Yeah.
together, is when you can actually break into like deep intimacy and deep love and like a deep bond where you're just allowed to explore and evolve
Feel comfortable.
Yeah.
and feel comfortable.
Top in a way that's authentic to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving
That's all I
on.
gotta
I'm
say.
making Kenna,
That's
we're
our
gonna need you on a
tagline.
graphic for that
Top in a way that's authentic
with like
to you.
clouds
Top
in
in
the
a way that's
background, and it'll swipe to a clip of this episode. All right, y'all. We've answered your questions. We've told you if 2 bottoms can work or not. We're gonna wrap it up on part 1 of your questions, your questionnaire, and this has been Ace of Space. And make sure you join our Discord because there's gonna be a lot going on in that Discord.
Yep.
You're gonna find
Starting
community. You're gonna find sneak peeks.
sneak peeks. And starting this Monday, we're going to be joining the Discord to go live every Monday. If you saw our post today, we're going to announce the time. I don't know what that is yet, but it should be in the caption of our Instagram post. and you'll see it all over. We're going to be joining in our Discord every Monday for a live to play songs for you, to hang out with you, to talk about whatever we talked about on last week's podcast. Whatever you want. We just want to hang out with you guys and vibe out every Monday. So we'll see you. We'll start seeing you a lot more often. Chatting with you a lot more often.
All right,
We love you guys.
We'll see you for part 2. Bye.
See ya.
What's up, guys? It's Crystal. This is Aces Space. And if you liked the podcast, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram at The Aces. Leave us a review anywhere that you can leave a review. Maybe Spotify, maybe Apple Podcasts. But we love you guys, and thank you so much for your support. We'll see you next week.